Bombers are battle winners. Left unchallenged, they can destroy men, machines, and morale. The carnage they cause makes them a prime target for enemy forces, anti-aircraft guns, missiles, enemy fighters. Being in a bomber is no easy ride. Faced by this kind of danger, there are two choices: flight or fight.
This is a B-17 that had 12 or more 50 caliber machine guns that are really deadly.
The big breakthrough was the marriage of heavy machine guns with rotating gun positions. The first 360-degree turrets were developed in 1933. 50 cal machine guns are the most lethal on the planet. A B-17 carried 9,000 rounds, and a direct hit will pierce almost anything, including the engine block of a Messerschmitt fighter. A new breed of heavily armed bomber was born. Beasts of the air like the B-24 Liberator, the British Avro Lancaster, and the classic B-17.
B-17G had 13 50 caliber machine guns on it. This forward one we call the chin turret is actually run by the bombardier. This would be his sight here, which is coupled into the turret, so whichever way you turn the turret, up, down, left, or right, the sight's going to follow you. You also have your two cheek guns. You get your left one here, and then your right one's over here. So this is actually what's protecting the front of the ship. We have two waist gunners. You can actually turn them however you need to go in order to shoot the fighter. You just gotta be careful you don't shoot your wing off, because they flew such a tight formation. Sometimes you'd have one of your airplanes right next to you, and just in the heat of battle, you know, you'd zip a couple bullets across to them. So you had to pay attention to what they were doing.
The most technologically advanced of all the gun positions was the ball turret.
This is how he's sitting. So you got the stirrups and hand control, and like I said, head's looking right through the sight there.
Built by the Sperry Corporation of Arizona, the complex combination of electrics and hydraulics defended the vulnerable underbelly of the B-24 and B-17. But the most frightening and exposed position on heavy bombers like the B-17 and Lancaster was the tail gun. Not much protection back here. He had one piece of armor that was in front of him, and that was it. So this was one of the first positions they try to take out, because once they do that, they've got open range on the entire backside of the airplane. Exposed to enemy fighters and the elements, tail gunners were hanging it out.
Well, I was what they called tail end Charlie, which was a rear gunner, and my role was to protect the rear of the aircraft. Even though you had an oxygen mask on, your exhaling would create icicles to form down below your chin, which you had to break off from time to time to enable you to use your intercom.
There was twice as many rear gunners lost during the Second World War than any other position on the aeroplane, because they were so vulnerable. The life expectancy of a rear gunner was only 4 trips, four ops, and that was it.
Despite all the Allied bombers' heavy guns, the fight was unequal. German Messerschmitt fighters usually came out on top.